we're live.
Good morning and welcome to the Pete Braley Show. I'm Pete Braley along with my co-host, the show creator, executive producer, another sleepy Red Sox fan, my son Mats.
That's me.
All
But
right.
we're riding on the high from that game.
Yes, we are.
So we're good.
Talk about it next. We have a great show planned for you today. Our goal is to simply start your day off on a positive note. And if you enjoy what we do here, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss any future shows. We are obviously live weekdays at 8 o'clock here on YouTube, but we're also available on all of your favorite podcast apps, so be sure to check that out. Coming up today, we celebrate a Red Sox win. What is your state's favorite Halloween candy? There is a story that ranks every state. We'll check out a few. We're not going to do all 50. Paul McCartney says it wasn't his idea to break up the Beatles, and he tells us who did. William Shatner has to wait another day before boldly going where only a few have gone before, and the majority of Americans say they will celebrate Halloween. Those stories coming up, but how about them Red Sox? Huh? Win yesterday against the Tampa Bay Rays, and I gotta say, I doubted them. But
When?
In
the beginning of the series?
Beginning of the series, I was worried.
All right.
But
I thought you were talking last night.
No.
Because they slipped up. They slipped up a little bit.
If you missed the game, they did have a 5-0 lead. And I thought, oh, this is great. Yeah. This is great. Then it was 5-1. Then it was 5-3. Then it was 5-5. And I thought, here we go. They can't make it easy on us. We have to go back to Tampa for a game 5.
What got me a little worried last night is we hadn't scored since the third. We scored all of our runs in the third inning.
That's right.
And then nothing.
Yeah.
But we won. That's all that matters. They wanted to make it interesting.
Yeah.
They wanted to make it exciting, and that they did.
Kike Hernandez delivered Boston's second straight walk-off win as he scored Danny Santana with a sac fly in the 9th inning. Santana was in to run for Christian Vasquez. Red Sox beat Tampa 6-5, and now they wait to see who they will play in the American League Championship Series. It will either be the Houston Astros or the Chicago White Sox. Houston leads 2-1 with Game 4 today in Chicago. I don't want to play the Astros. I just don't.
I mean, it would be fantastic to beat the Astros.
Yeah, it would, but I don't know if I'm tired of seeing the Astros, or I know the Sox haven't they struggled against Houston each time we've played them?
We have.
Yeah.
This year, or are you talking years past in the playoffs?
In the playoffs, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there was the one year we beat them and we won the World Series, but yeah, the Astros, I don't know. They can't win the World Series, right? Like that would just be.
I know. And didn't you tell me yesterday the White Sox are already claiming cheating?
There's no official reports yet, but I think someone said that they were stealing signs. So
the schedule is out. Game 1 will be Friday at either Chicago or Houston. Game 2 Saturday at Chicago or Houston. Then games 3, 4, and 5 will be at Fenway. Game 3 will be Monday. Game 4 Tuesday. Game 5, if necessary, Wednesday. And then if necessary, it goes back to the other ballpark for games 6 and 7 on Friday and Saturday of next week. So look forward to a lot of late nights.
Yeah, I do have to say, Diane said good morning and sincere congrats to Red Sox Nation. Thank you.
I wasn't going to say anything about her Facebook post this weekend, how she should eat crow and how she needed a bigger boat.
And Gary did say, hey, Diane, guess that broom got returned back to the store.
Oh.
Diane was talking a lot of crap.
A little bit, yeah.
Not going to get hostile.
Nope, not going to happen.
But oh, is it sweet to say that we won. And Abby Braley is here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was getting worried we hadn't heard from you. I know you have a job that you work nights, so makes mornings interesting.
Welcome back.
So, yeah. On the calendar and by the way, welcome to any new viewers we might have or new listeners on the podcast. Welcome. On the calendar today, it is Tuesday, October 12th. This is show number 80. 47 days until Thanksgiving, 77 until Christmas, and yes, my countdown's underway now. We'll do this every day. It is National Savings Day, which I guess needs no description. National Free Thought Day. It encourages people to be free thinkers and base their opinions on facts, science, logic, and reason.
Basing opinions on science? What's the fun in that?
I know. It's National Farmers Day and National Gumbo Day. Originating in southern Louisiana during the 18th century, gumbo typically consists of strongly flavored stock, like soup, with meat or shellfish, a thickener, and seasoned vegetables. Most people serve it over rice. We made gumbo a time or two.
What?
Yeah, we did this, I guess, when you were much younger, when the Pats were playing a Super Bowl in New Orleans. And we just went crazy, made gumbo one night. Made some good gumbo.
I have never had that.
That was before your time. Huh?
I was going to say BM before Matt, but BM has other meanings. So
especially after eating gumbo.
Very similar meanings, I guess. Yeah.
On the date book, on this day in 1892, the U.S. Pledge of Allegiance was first recited in public schools. On this day in 1900, the first modern submarine is commissioned by the U.S. Navy as the USS Holland, named for its designer, John Philip Holland. Imagine 1900. They were talking about submarines.
1900, they look at you and they're like, look, we want you to go in this tube that's going to be very deep in the water.
Imagine the first guys that did that. You want me to what? Where?
Yeah, you'd have to like drug me to get me to do that.
On this day in 1901, Teddy Roosevelt renames the Executive Mansion as the White House. 1920, construction begins on the Holland Tunnel connecting New Jersey and New York City. On this day in 1931, Christ the Redeemer statue opens, standing 98 feet high on top of Mount Corcovado, overlooking Rio de Janeiro. We have a photo of it. I'm sure you've seen it. I think, one of the Olympics was held there, and they kept flying by it.
Yep.
On this day in 1933, Alcatraz became a federal prison. On this day in 1964, TV-38 in Boston begins transmitting. On this day in 1967, the St. Louis Cardinals beat the Red Sox 4-3 in the World Series. That was the Impossible Dream team in 67. On this day in 1971, Jesus Christ Superstar opened in New York City. And on this day in 1979, the Boston Celtics had a win over Houston at the Boston Garden. What makes that interesting is that game marked the debut of a rookie named Larry Bird. That same night in Los Angeles, Magic Johnson made his debut with the LA Lakers. Celebrity birthdays today. Hugh Jackman is 53, Nancy Kerrigan, 52, Kirk Cameron from Growing Pains is 51, and Olympic skier Bodie Miller is 44. You mentioned a few people checking in. Do we have any comments or anything else this morning?
Abby just said, how about them Red Sox? And yes, with this new Bond movie, it's been late nights and non-existent mornings.
Oh, the new Bond movie's out.
Yeah.
That's right. The last one that, what's his name? Daniel Craig.
Yes.
Is going to be in.
I've never been a big Bond guy. Should I be?
I never have
should
either.
I be getting into this?
I wonder, and how many do we have to watch?
That's true. How far back do you go?
There must be, what? Maybe a dozen by now?
No idea.
Because there have been 3 different James Bonds, haven't they? Sean Connery, Roger Moore. Was there someone before Daniel Craig? And then Daniel Craig. So.
See, this is what I don't like. When you look it up and Google doesn't spit out the answer in big letters.
Yeah. Just give me the facts.
12 actors, 27 movies in 59 years.
How many?
12 actors, 27 movies, and 59 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
27 movies.
Yeah, that's from... It's from a .net website, so I don't know. Can we believe it? I don't know. That's the answer I got for you.
It's on the internet. It must be true.
That's true.
Must be true.
And we decided today is a day of ignoring science. No, using science.
No, it's supposed to use
using
science.
science.
Science and logic. Yes. Today's random question, if you want to think about this and answer this in the chats or maybe comment if you're watching this later in the day. If you could go back in time, what era would you choose to live in? If you could go back in time, what era would you choose to live in? Would it be the Wild West? Would it be revolutionary times? We'd have powdered wigs. Would it be, say, the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s? Give it a thought. What if you go back in time? If you could go back in time, what era would you choose? All right, football picks here, and then we've got some football news. Monday Night Football last night, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens mounted an incredible comeback against the Indianapolis Colts. Never saw that coming. They scored 16 points to force overtime, and then won the game 31-25 in overtime.
I can never tell if you're being sarcastic. Never saw that coming, as in the comeback? Or the Ravens winning?
The Colts winning.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
Got you.
I got to be more clear.
Because at first I was like, you picked the Ravens. I have literal proof that you saw that coming.
Yes, but you're right. I need to explain. I didn't expect the Colts to be in the lead by 16 points.
That's a good point. Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. How did we do on our pick? You said that we're virtually tied?
We're still tied. Well, no. We tied this week. You're still up by 2 games.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay. I was surprised, I got to tell you, when the Bills beat the Chiefs.
Because the only differences we had were the Seahawks-Rams. I picked the Rams. So I gained a game.
Right.
But then you took it right back because the Bills beat the Chiefs.
Okay.
And I know there was somebody on Facebook that was upset with me for picking the Chiefs.
Our friend from Buffalo.
Yes, I thought the Chiefs at home. I said that Kansas City is one of the few fields that I will do that.
I would have done the same, but I wanted to be different. I wanted us to have a little difference.
And to be quite honest, anonymous Bills fan, we needed the Chiefs to win. We need Buffalo to lose some games with Patriots fans.
Right, we do.
It's one of the rare occurrences where I'll root for the Chiefs, but I was rooting for the Chiefs, and they let me down.
Yes,
they let me down. It was a weird game, though. I don't know if you saw. There was a lightning delay.
I read about it after.
Halftime was extended. Halftime was like an hour long or maybe more than that.
And I guess the Bills were tweeting out because the visiting locker room at Arrowhead Stadium, they said it's small and hot. Ooh. So a lot of the guys were hanging out in the tunnel to get some fresh air.
Yeah, I know the broadcasters, they were just hardcore recapping the previous games. In depth because they just needed to fill that time.
Let's do it again.
They got to the end and it was like Tony Dungy and I'm not sure who the host was, but they were like, we still have 2 more games, but we're actually going back to it. But yeah, so the Bills disappointed me.
Yeah.
Well, the Chiefs disappointed me.
The Chiefs disappointed me.
I mean, they both disappointed me because the Bills. Why are the Bills that good? I get it. Josh Allen's great.
Yeah, I read some comments from a writer or something on Twitter that this Chiefs team is just not good. I don't know.
Okay, you also had a writer, shout out to the writer, I don't know your name, but you said this Red Sox team just isn't good and that the beginning of the year was a fluke. They said that we were a bad baseball team.
Yep.
Suck it. Okay?
He did make a point, though. I don't know if we're talking about Peter Abraham from the Globe.
I don't know. You and me fought about this at one point.
Yeah. He did make a point, though, that that play last night where Verdugo got thrown out of third.
Yes.
Coming for second. He says he never should have run.
Probably true.
Fly ball to right field, because I guess there's some old baseball axiom or whatever that's you don't want to make the first or third out at third base. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean... I don't know. I think a lot of these unwritten rules kind of go out the window in playoff baseball.
True.
It's a lot in playoff baseball. It's a lot easier to score. I mean, well, in any baseball, it's a lot easier to score a run from third than it is from second. But you got to take chances. Right. Swing momentum, stuff like that. So I don't know. It ended the right way.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
A couple of other football notes. John Gruden has resigned as the head coach of the Raiders after a report last night in the New York Times revealed he used homophobic and misogynistic language in emails over a 7-year period ending in 2018. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson is expected to miss 4 to 8 weeks after getting surgery on the middle finger of his right hand. I would highlight that finger, but Mom never wanted me to do that. Wilson injured the finger in Thursday night's game against the Rams. He underwent the surgery to repair a ruptured tendon on Friday.
I guess it's called mallet finger.
Mallet finger?
Basically, a tendon breaks, and so your finger, Kat was telling me, your finger is just like bent. You can't straighten out your finger.
Kind of hard to drink your coffee.
Yeah. Or is it easier to drink your coffee?
Oh,
just
maybe.
Hook it on there.
And the Pittsburgh Steelers and local authorities are investigating the spreading of ashes at Heinz Field after Sunday's game with the Broncos. Crews say someone spread a relative's ashes partially in the stands and on the edge of the field. The Steelers say they are aware of the issue and do not condone it. In Pennsylvania, by the way, ashes are not permitted to be spread anywhere without the property owner's permission.
See, if you asked, they probably would have let you, you know?
Yeah, when I read this story, I was thinking, how many ashes have been spread on Fenway?
Probably a lot.
Probably a lot. When I die, I want my ashes spread on Fenway Park.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like generally, things like that, they're fine with it.
Are they?
Yeah, you just got to get their permission.
I guess.
They can't have you dumping it at a game.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to go clean up a dead person. Come on.
In the news this Tuesday morning, got to keep telling myself, I'm all screwed up this week, not only because we took Monday off, but also because Priscilla, also known on this show as Trish.
My name's not Trish.
Yeah. She worked Sunday instead of Monday.
Yeah.
Someone at work needed a switch for a wedding, so she said sure, and then realized that meant she didn't have to work Marathon Monday. Her company provides emergency services for the marathon.
And I guess it's quite hectic.
Yes. So I was just confused because she was home on Monday, and she was home this morning too. So it's like 2 days in a row. I'm not used to that. So
Yeah.
that's why we don't have Studio Dog Charlie.
So it feels like a Monday. It feels like a Wednesday. It feels like a
I don't know where I am. I just don't know.
Thursday for some reason.
But in the news, Blue Origin has delayed William Shatner's trip to space due to high winds. Shatner, at the age of 90, will become the oldest person to travel into space when he blasts off, now planned for Wednesday, a day later than originally planned. Shatner will be part of a 4-person crew aboard the rocket, Blue Origin's second human launch since its successful flight in July. Shatner's flight will last 10 minutes and reach about 66 miles into space, with about 4 minutes of weightlessness expected. That must be so cool.
Yeah, 4 minutes, It's like, give me some longer time up there.
Huh?
I will say it's at 8:30 a.m., so it's kind of an issue. We'll have to think of what we want to do.
Can you have it on your monitor? Or?
We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see.
Shelves at the grocery store in the U.S. will not be back to normal until next year. Supply chain issues are leading to a lack of several items at stores, including things like Rice Krispies treats, Sour Patch Kids, some Ben & Jerry's ice cream flavors, McCormick gourmet spices, and Marie Callender's pot pies. This might mean that stores won't have all the things for customers heading into the holidays, and shoppers may not be able to find some of their favorite products. Might have to be a little more flexible this year. You will soon be able to build the Titanic with Legos. I know you've been waiting for this, but it is going to cost you. The replica is the largest Lego set ever created. It's made up of 9,090 pieces. The model stretches over 4 feet in addition to showing off a first-class grand staircase. The Lego set will be available for pre-order starting November 1st.
There you go.
And it'll cost $629.99.
That's what kills me.
What's that?
The prices of these Legos, man.
Insane.
Because you read me that, I'm like, you know what? That might be a fun thing to do, I mean, puzzles are fun.
Yeah.
I haven't played with Legos in a while.
Yeah.
I'm probably nerding out, but that would be fun, putting together the Titanic made out of Legos just to sink it in the bathtub because it probably doesn't float.
Nice.
But who's going to spend, who except for like Lego professionals are going to spend that much money on that? I'm sorry, but I can't. That's more expensive than a PS5.
And finally, tennis star Andy Murray says he's in hot water at home after someone stole his wedding ring. He was in California for the Indian Wells tournaments. He took to Instagram to reveal that after a round of practice, he left his damp, sweaty, and smelly tennis sneakers under his car outside of his hotel to air them out and dry them out overnight. When he woke up, his sneakers were gone. He didn't think it was the end of the world, but then he realized his wedding ring was tied to the sneakers. He said, I basically tie my wedding ring to my tennis shoes when I'm playing because I can't play with it on my hand. So, yeah, the wedding ring's been stolen, too.
I'm muted here.
Hello.
I was drinking coffee in the corner. See, I think that's a great place to put it, though. Like, I think that's...
You would think so.
A lot of people get, like, those rubber bands or whatever, but, like,
Right.
he's like, watch this. Put it on his shoes. I think that's kind of cool.
Still have it.
How do you not remember that when you put your shoes under your car? And I'm sorry. Who does that? Who leaves their shoes under their car?
I did see that once at a rest area because I remember taking a picture of it and either Snapchat or something to you guys. I was on my way to Virginia to see Sarah and the kids, and sure enough, there was a pair of sneakers right outside of a car, and I thought, how bad do your feet have to smell?
I guess. I mean, why not bring him? He was at a hotel, right? Is that what he said? Yeah, why not bring him in? Like, leave him in the bathroom of the room, maybe leave the fan on. I mean, one, do they smell that bad? And two, I mean, you gotta, if you know that, if you do this every time,
right,
you should know that your wedding ring's on the sneakers.
Yeah, it's a habit, I guess, for him.
Yeah. So, anyways.
All right. What is the favorite Halloween candy in your state? Now, I'm not going to list all 50 here, but candystore.com recently released its 2021 findings of the most popular Halloween candy by state. Interestingly, 3 candies tied at the top, each with 6 states choosing Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Sour Patch Kids, and Starburst. Now, here's the way they judge it.
Okay.
They look at 14 years of sales data in the U.S. and Canada, along with input from major candy manufacturers and distributors. And they looked specifically at the months leading up to Halloween. Now, what I did was I tried to pick out the states where our viewers and listeners
we know we have viewers
are from. All right. So, Florida, Nathan and everybody in Florida. Your favorite candy, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups.
There's only one right answer there.
Yeah. In Maryland, though, because Gail's in Maryland, it's Hershey Kisses.
Is it, though?
For Halloween?
Yeah, I mean, Hershey Kisses are good candy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But no one, like, you're never at the store, you're like, you know what I'm craving right now?
Some Hershey Kisses.
No, you eat them because your grandmother has them in a bowl on the coffee table. You know?
Or mom puts them in the middle of cookies.
Yes, okay, that's a different story. Yeah.
North Carolina, where Ryan is, Reese's Cups, number 1. Cool.
Amen.
Rhode Island, where Gary lives, right? Twix.
Underrated candy.
Underrated?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not a lot of people talk about Twix.
No,
I think Twix is a solid candy bar.
Yeah. In Virginia, for Sarah, Doug, hot tamales comes in number 1.
Shut up. I mean, if you like them, whatever, but you're going to tell me that that's the best candy? And that's a whole state agreed that was the best candy.
Abby, in Vermont, it's Skittles.
I like Skittles.
You like Skittles.
The best candy? I don't know.
And Massachusetts, you ready?
Yeah.
Sour Patch Kids. Now, you like Sour Patch Kids,
I do.
right?
See, why I don't
like
hate
them.
that answer?
I don't like them at all. I don't like sour.
Like you said the top 3 candies from all the states were Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, Sour Patch Kids, and Starburst. Why I don't hate that is because you kind of got the spectrum there. You got chocolate.
Okay.
Reese's the best chocolate. Don't fight me on that.
Yep.
That's the answer.
Bottom line.
Sour Patch Kids, the best sour candy. 100%. Don't fight me on that. Starburst, I'm pretty sure Starburst would be considered taffy.
Good point.
So that would be its own category as well, and it's the leader of that category. So I think top 3, that makes sense.
Right.
I like that.
But
I mean,
Sour Patch Kids?
I mean, they're good, so I'm not mad at. I mean, if you told me that Massachusetts was hot tamales, I would be moving. I would be moving right now.
Would you like to know the 10 worst Halloween candies on the list?
Let me hear it.
All right, let's see if you agree. I'll do this, count it down 10 to 1. All right. Number 10, black licorice.
I don't know the last time I've had it, but I know a lot of people that do not like it.
I don't. Number 9 is Good and Plenty, which doesn't it taste like licorice? The inside of Good and Plenty?
I have no idea what that is.
Yeah?
Never had it.
Never had Good and Plenty?
Mm-mm.
Number 8, Tootsie Rolls.
That's another one where I'm
it's a
only
real
eating
workout.
it if it's on like someone's coffee table.
It's a real workout chewing those
It is,
things.
yeah.
Number 7, Mary Jane's.
Again, never had it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Isn't that the small candy? It's also like a taffy. What kind of taste would it have? How do I describe it? It's kind of a nutty taste, right?
How do you have a taffy that has a nutty taste?
I don't know. If anybody can describe a Mary Jane in the chats, please do. Number 6, this is the 10 worst Halloween candies. Number 6, wax Coke bottles. You ever had those? The little...
I don't know.
It's got some kind of fluid inside.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen them. I know what they are, unlike
Right.
a couple others you named.
Number 5, Necco wafers. Now that's like eating chalk. The Necco wafers.
Yeah, I'm trying to... I don't know if I've ever gotten those, like for Halloween or anything.
Number 4, and this is the candy I always take from you guys.
Reese's, yeah.
No. Besides Reese's, Smarties.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. We mentioned something else on a previous show, but it's Smarties that I go after.
Yeah, and Smarties are one you got to be in a mood to have Smarties.
Yeah.
You either are craving Smarties or they make you want to throw up. I don't think there's any in between.
So what are the top 3 worst Halloween candies? Peanut butter kisses.
So like Hershey Kisses?
It must be. It must be.
I don't think anything peanut butter deserves to be in the bottom 10.
Right. But I'm not familiar with peanut butter kisses.
You throw peanut butter in a candy, you got a winner.
Number 2, circus peanuts. Yeah, why?
Gross.
Why did they? Oh. And what have I left out? Coming in at number 1 as the worst Halloween candy is candy corn.
The only right answer. Right there. Right there. I just whipped my mouse across my desk accidentally. Gary said Mary Jane's are peanut butter and molasses. See, that actually sounds pretty good.
Okay.
I would
that makes
try it.
sense.
I would try it.
Peanut butter and molasses.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's not one of it. It wouldn't be a favorite, I don't think.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so, but I don't think I would hate it.
And I found Mom's stash. I found where she's putting the Halloween candy this year.
Very dangerous.
It is. Once I know where it is, it's so far.
She's going to have to move it.
I have stayed away from it for a week.
You almost didn't the other night. You were talking about it.
That was the night I found it.
Yeah.
Will you celebrate Halloween? Well, the majority of Americans say they will engage in Halloween festivities this year, nearly matching the percentage of those who made the same prediction in 2019 before the pandemic. Nearly all generations say they will celebrate. Gen Z the most, then millennials and Gen X. Only 41% of baby boomers said the same, although that is also near the 2019 pre-pandemic level. Additionally, 24% said they plan to attend a Halloween party this year, making another rebound to levels that it had in 2019. 14% said that they or their children will trick-or-treat the same way they usually do. Last year was only 7% that went. And the National Retail Federation expects $10.1 billion will be spent on Halloween this year. That is up from $8 billion last year. And our thanks to Gail, by the way, who sent us this breakdown of the generations to see where you fit.
There it is.
So there you go.
So I am technically Gen Z.
You are technically Gen Z.
I'm sorry, everyone, for my generations.
It says that
doings.
It says that I'm Boomer 2. I was born in 1961.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a 1 and 2 with the Boomers. But
Just thought you were all boomers.
I thought so.
I will say, I thought of it. I thought of another reason to back up my. If you don't know, I went through this personal. What would you call what I went through on Friday? This personal journey of.
Yeah.
Started from the bottom. Now we're here.
He was
kind of
lost.
comeback story. Said a very stupid comment.
We ran the video, I think, yesterday
Yeah.
or Sunday.
For a second, I was going to say yesterday was Sunday. Anyways, what I was saying is because he said that Gen Z is 24 to blah blah blah,
18 to 24,
18 to 24, and I was like, wait, you can't go by ages. You got to go by the year they were born. And he was like, isn't that the same thing? And I was like, yeah, kind of. But so eventually I figured out that you can't go by ages because when you move on in time,
Right.
you can no longer go by that.
Right.
And yeah, so like if this chart was ages, this chart would only be relevant right now.
This year.
Yeah. So that's the problem if you go by years.
Yep.
If you find this chart 10 years from now, you'll be like, oh, look at this. I'm
this.
I'm a baby boomer all of a sudden. And it's like, no, that's not a thing. So that was another reason.
All right.
So I wasn't completely stupid.
Thank you, Gail, for helping us figure that out. All right, back to our random question here. If you could go back in time, what era would you choose to live in? Did anyone comment or?
Everybody hit me in the chat right now.
I would prefer just a visit. I wouldn't want to live in another era.
Yeah, probably not.
Because I'm comfortable in this one.
Also, there were many problems in many eras.
Oh, you can find a problem.
Like
anywhere.
I know you said the Wild West as one, which would be interesting. I think I would like to visit the Wild West. But people are just like getting shot and like dying from a paper cut, right?
Taking a bath maybe once a month.
Yeah, so definitely don't want to live there.
I always felt like part of me was a man of the 40s. You know, like when I watch a World War II movie, I love World War II movies because it seemed a time where people seemed more comfortable in their own skin. Maybe not, but it did. I can just see myself wearing fedoras. And I did enjoy smoking years ago, and smoking was accepted in the 40s. You know, they were smoking everywhere.
So that's the real reason. You want to go to an era in which smoking is acceptable?
No, just, wearing fedora. Guys wore suits to go to the ball game. I mean, that was cool. I mean,
you want that. You would like to get in a suit to go to a ball game.
Like I said, I want to visit. I don't want to stay there.
All right. Just imagine watching the Red Sox last night and everybody's in suits.
Yeah, I know.
What about games in the rain? You want everyone to be in suits, little trench coats?
And it looked like wool suits, too, so you don't want to get those wet.
But I think that we can leave that there.
Leave that alone?
We can leave that there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Today's fascinating fact, by the way, let me know if you get any.
I do have a couple.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Let's see. Abby said the 50s seemed fun, but I agree about visiting only.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think it would be interesting to go back and see like the Wild West again, like to see how movies portray it. Like, is it
real?
Maybe it's just the movies that make me want to visit. Maybe I go back there and I'm like, wow, this is terrible. This is god awful. Yeah.
And if you think back to if you want to go back to revolutionary times, George Washington and all that, and it's like, they didn't have indoor plumbing, so
gross.
How cool would it be?
We got a lot of problems right now, in the world. But I would say a lot less problems.
Indoor plumbing ain't one of them.
We still got a lot to figure out.
Yep.
But we're in a good place, living condition wise.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Gary said, would love to see the 20s, but only visit, not stay. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Back in the Gatsby era.
And Abby said they would have umbrellas and trench coats. Yeah, imagine if everyone had an umbrella. Nobody's seeing the game except the front row. But, I mean, that's awful.
But also, they were all day games, right? At the start.
True, because they didn't have lights. Yeah. So. I mean, it can still rain during the day, Pete.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay.
All right. Today's fascinating fact, Betty White is older than sliced bread.
Wow.
You know how that phrase goes, hey, he's older than sliced bread. Betty White really is.
No, I think the phrase is best thing since sliced bread.
That's right.
Yeah.
The first sliced commercial bread loaves were produced in 1928. Betty was born in 1922.
So maybe we should say the best thing since Betty White.
There you go. It's going to be a sad day when we lose Betty.
Way to just bring it down.
I'm sorry.
She's still here. Enjoy.
Yep. She's still rocking.
Shout out Betty.
Betty White and Keith Richards still going strong.
There you go.
Who knows how he manages. I do have not really a Bridezilla story this morning, but a wedding-related story. A photographer deleted an entire wedding album after the couple wouldn't let him eat at the reception. Let me explain. The man said that he normally works as a dog groomer, but he does take lots of photos of dogs all day to put on his Facebook and Instagram. He said a friend got married recently and wanting to save money asked him to shoot it for them. So he started around 11 o'clock in the morning, and he was due to finish around 7:30 at night. He said about 5 p.m., the food was being served, and he was told he could not stop to eat because he needed to be the photographer. He told the groom he needed a 20-minute break so that he could eat and get something to drink. But the groom told him he had to choose, be a photographer or leave without pay. So the man deleted all of the pictures and left.
So a lot of things going on here.
I do have to say, before we get to that, that every wedding I have ever DJ'd, and I've done, I don't know, maybe half a dozen. And it wasn't a big thing, but I did a few.
Mm-hmm.
Every one I did, I was invited to sit down and eat.
Yeah.
They always had a table or a place for me and the photographer. So I would go, set up a playlist, play a couple of songs, and I could eat. Well,
see, that's what it surprises me that they didn't let him eat. But also, I mean, if he didn't get paid, you don't get the photos. That's how this works.
That's true.
I don't know. I mean, deleting him, it's kind of a big step. But I mean, if he doesn't get paid, you get paid to take the photos. If you're not getting paid, nobody gets photos. So
okay.
I think that's fair. If they ended up paying him and he's mad about not eating and he delete the photos, you might be taking it a little too far.
Right.
But also, they said you can't eat because you're the photographer.
Right.
Do you want pictures of people eating?
That's what I was thinking.
I've never seen a wedding album where it's like 6 pages of just people chomping on some banquet mashed potatoes, I don't see that. I've never... Who wants that?
Though, that at your sister Kat's wedding, I'm going to take your picture with banquet mashed.
I expect it.
Just for this show.
I expect it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Like you said, he didn't get paid.
If he didn't get paid, he's justified in that. I mean, this is how photographers make a living. They take photos, you pay them, you get the photos.
And even though he's not really a photographer, he's performing that duty for this couple.
Oh, did I miss that? Is he not a photographer?
No, he's a pet groomer who takes pictures of his pets and puts them on his Facebook and Instagram.
Gotcha. So this is the funny part about the show is while he's reading stories, a lot of the times I'm reading chats.
Yep.
Yeah. So I miss details.
That's all right.
Sound like an idiot sometimes.
No, you don't.
But yeah, no. I mean, still, if you hired him to take photos and you don't pay him,
right?
Because I mean, he's still a photographer. He takes pets photos.
Right.
Yeah.
And he puts them on his Facebook.
That's part of his job. Is take photos. I mean, this is how the people make a living, man.
Yep.
You don't pay them, you don't get the thing that they make. This is called supply and demand, man. You pay, you get what you want.
Time for another Guinness World Record.
Let's do
we
it.
love these. A man who has built the fastest lawnmower of all time just set a Guinness World Record. It looks like this. Doesn't really look like a lawnmower, does it?
The front of it, like the hood, looks like it came from a lawnmower. Nothing else.
He hit 143 miles an hour on a racetrack and then cut some grass to prove that it is a lawnmower.
I was going to ask.
Yeah. He claims the Guinness World Record for the fastest lawnmower ever. He broke the record by almost 10 miles an hour. So the old record was 133. He went 143 miles an hour. The speed lever powered his homemade contraption with a 1300cc Suzuki motorbike engine. He used the front suspension from a kit car and a trike conversion kit for the rear. The guy said it took him 2 years to build this.
I have so many questions. Abby did say that tire isn't even touching the ground. And she's right. The front left tire isn't even touching the ground.
Really?
See, my question is, do you keep it afterwards to cut your grass?
Yeah, you're going to take that out every week or week and a half?
And, I mean, it must take you, what, like 10 minutes to cut your grass?
Yeah, if it goes that fast.
Well, I mean, you got to slow down for the turns.
I know, but the turns must be a killer, trying to turn around all the time.
I mean, maybe he has a long yard. Just make the turn slow and then just 1 second you're down there, spin around, come back.
Do you cut grass with that just as a demonstration and then never use it again? I don't know.
No, I would think you gotta keep that.
Yeah.
Now, does he try again? Do you just keep going? Is this like a life choice here? You're just permanently on the mission to create the fastest lawnmower.
I gotta beat it.
Yeah. Do you try and beat your own record, or do you start a landscaping business after this?
Could be.
Yeah. I mean,
how many lawns
think of the marketing.
I know.
If you have the fastest lawnmower, I'm getting you to cut my lawn.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it would be tough. Our lawn is not good for a fast lawnmower. That'd be brutal for him.
I think, did we mention this before?
What?
If you think of this as our house lot, the house sits
Crooked
on the lot.
Very frustrating.
And you don't really think of it till A, you go on Google Earth and you go, oh yeah, that's weird.
That's kind of weird.
Or B, you try to cut the grass.
Yeah.
Because you can't.
You choose a path that you want to go, and then eventually you run into a problem.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't square it off perfectly.
No.
Entertainment news this morning. A spinoff of That 70s Show is heading to Netflix. The new sitcom will be called That 90s Show. And it'll feature original cast members, Kurtwood Smith, who played Red Foreman, and Deborah Jo Rupp, who played Kitty. The show revolves around Leah Foreman, who is the daughter of Eric and Donna, played by Topher Grace and Laura Prepon. So it revolves around Leah, who, as she visits her grandparents, who are Red and Kitty, for the summer. That 70s show debuted in 1998, ran for 8 seasons on Fox. I'll check it out.
I mean, it's an interesting concept. It's you got a lot of pressure when you try and do something like this.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of pressure.
Yep.
But I don't know. I mean, Red and Kitty, two of the best characters from that show. I would love to see it gets tough when you get into 2000s. There's no easy way to refer to the 2000s. I would love to see that 10s and 20s from Red Foreman, just to see what he has to say about life right now.
What was his line?
Just things about asses.
Yeah.
He would put his foot in your ass.
Oh, my foot in your ass.
Yeah. Stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be, I think it'll be pretty good. I don't know if it'll be, world mind-blowing. But
Right.
Like Squid Game. Watch Squid Game.
Do you recommend I watch Squid Game? You said it's something with Game of Thrones and...
Well, I said it's like the graphicness of it, like the goriness of it. There's a lot of blood, a lot of watching people get shot.
Yeah.
So you were okay with that with Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
so,
and The Walking Dead too. That never bothered me.
If you liked Hunger Games, if this is my sales pitch, with some credit going to Francis, Sarah's friend. It is the Hunger Games combined with children's games combined with Game of Thrones. So if a more gory version of the Hunger Games interests you, it's the show for you.
Okay.
It's pretty good. It's 9 episodes, 10 maybe. I don't remember, but pretty good. I recommend it.
There is also a WandaVision spinoff starring Kathryn Hahn that is in development at Disney+. Kathryn would bring back the role of Agatha Harkness in the series, which is described as a dark comedy. In WandaVision, she started out playing the role of Agnes, that was Wanda and Vision's nosy neighbor, before it was revealed that she was, in fact, Agatha, a powerful witch. Paul McCartney wants to make it clear that the breakup of the Beatles was not his idea. He says, "I didn't instigate the split. That was our Johnny." He said John Lennon walked into a room one day and said, "I'm leaving the Beatles." Is that instigating the split or not? McCartney said the comments in a BBC radio interview to be released October 23rd ahead of a new documentary that's coming out by Peter Jackson called Get Back. There were issues, some around the band's new manager, Alan Klein, but McCartney said Lennon was just ready to move on. Paul says the point of it really was that John was making a new life with Yoko, but he doesn't blame Yoko, although Beatles fans do. He said they were a great couple. There was huge strength there. The split was bound to happen, McCartney said, once Lennon wanted to go in a bag and lie in a bed for a week in Amsterdam for peace. That's what he wanted to do. He says, and you couldn't argue with that. McCartney said Lennon thought his decision to leave the Beatles was quite thrilling. McCartney said he did not. He said, "This was my life. This was my band. That was my job. This was my life. So I wanted it to continue." He said the Beatles were still doing good work. Abbey Road, Let It Be. Instead, he, George Harrison, and Ringo were left to pick up the pieces in what Paul called the most difficult period of my life.
That's why bands are tough. You know, you got to get 4, especially when they get big, because then you got, 4 or 5 people
that all have their own thoughts and desires, but you got to try to keep the unit together.
You want to make it. That's the goal. But what do you do when you make it? Some people want to stop. Some people want to keep going.
I think, the Rolling Stones still going. I'm sure they've had issues over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still going. People in the news this morning, the school board in Columbus, Ohio is not happy that a local father has been using a limo to take children to school. There is a shortage of bus drivers in many cities around the country, but in central Ohio, 15 to 20% of the district's drivers called out almost every day last week. So the dad decided it was time to pull out all the stops after his kids missed school when their bus didn't show up. So he borrowed a ride from his dad's limousine service, and he hit the road. Last Monday, he took 25 kids to school. On Tuesday, he had 42. The school district says the limo is not approved for student transportation. There is no word on whether or not there's anything they can do about it.
So, safety concern-wise is the only thing I think they might have. How safe is it? If it's not safe, I can see where they're coming from.
Right.
But what I think it might be is there's probably some kids that are like, I don't get to come in a limousine. So they're probably like, sir. See, this is what bugs me though, is like, if this isn't a thing, kids are missing school. Don't you want kids in school?
Yeah. So he's providing.
Why are you mad? He's doing a good deed.
It's got to be liability.
Plus, school sucks. If there's one way to get me to school, it's a
limo.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, you get a limo ride to school, I'm like, you know what? I'll do it. I'll leave after first period, but I'm going.
I did a contest once. There was one year back when I was on radio. We were looking for the student that had the longest commute. The longest time to get to school.
Yeah.
And how would you describe Bristol Aggie? Bristol Aggie is
middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Everyone I know that went there had like a 45-minute bus ride every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was the case. We had someone in Fairhaven who lived over near the middle school off of School Street and all that, would take a bus to Bristol County Agricultural High School, which is in the middle.
I have no idea if that's actually.
It is.
Now, okay.
It is. In the middle of nowhere, And he had, I think by the time the bus picked everyone up, and then later in the day, the bus dropped everybody off, he had like an hour and 15-minute drive every day.
That's crazy.
So the contest was whoever had the longest, we would pick them up in a limo. And we did. I can't remember his name, but we went to his house at dark 30, 6:15 or something in the morning.
Yeah.
We picked him up in a limo, and we drove him to Bristol County, Bristol Aggie.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it was kind of cool. It was a fun little promotion.
And we would love to do stuff like that, and hopefully we will in the future. We need to,
We're in a growth period.
Yes. So if you keep on supporting.
Yep.
One day we will get limos for children.
Keep on supporting and suggest
Help us get limos for children.
Please.
It's for the children.
There are starving children.
Abby said they aren't mad, they're just jealous. Yeah. That's what it probably is. Do
complaints from other kids?
Do any limos have seatbelts? I've been in a limo a handful of times. I don't remember seatbelts.
I don't think so.
So that's the problem I could see. But then again, I know what you're about to say. School buses don't have seatbelts.
Most of them, no.
So you know what we need? We need Mythbusters, maybe. I don't know. I feel like you guys would be the ones to do this. Are they still doing Mythbusters? I don't
think so.
I don't know. We need those car crash dummies. In a school bus and a limo. Tell me if they're about the same. I would think it's probably safer in a limo, right? Because let's be honest, a school bus is just an aluminum can.
Yeah, right.
You ever get in a school bus and you look at those thin walls and windows and you're like, how the hell is this safe?
I know.
Like you get in an accident, it's just going to squish.
Who designed this thing? So
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's got like a crazy steel frame to protect the children.
I think the issue is litigation. I think they're afraid that if the limo gets into an accident,
Oh yeah,
they're not covered. If
that's
school
true.
bus gets
That's
in an
true.
accident,
liability wise, yeah.
if a school bus gets in an accident, I'm sure they're covered somehow.
Solution: I am not a lawyer. Would never want to be a lawyer. I think it's one of the probably worst professions you could ever be. Right behind accountant. But I feel like maybe if you get all the parents of the kids that ride in the limo to sign a waiver, maybe.
Yep,
Just
that
so
might
that
be
they
a way.
can't sue the school.
Might be a way.
And it might be smart for the dad to get them to sign one too, so that they can't sue him.
Right.
I mean, it's getting the kids to school. It's that, or they don't go. Why would you not support this or try and figure out a way to make this work?
And they're probably happy to get in the limo, right?
Yeah.
How many times are the kids going to be happy to get in a school bus? Yippee, let's go.
Give the dad a Corey check, sign these waivers, and just let it happen. Get the kids to school. They're in school. Why are we mad? Kids are in school.
I was watching a TV show the other day where the dad says something about, hurry up, so you're going to miss the bus. And she's like, Dad, I'm in high school. Nobody takes the bus. And I thought about that. That's true, right?
No.
No?
People take that. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, she was saying that her boyfriend was going to pick her up. But she was saying, Dad, it's high school. Nobody takes the bus. Is that but that was a thing, wasn't it? Because
I mean, there are buses at school, at
well,
high schools.
I know,
people
but
take buses.
when you get into high school, didn't you? I think Kat was driving, right? So you'd always
But
catch a ride.
Not everyone has a sister that's 2 years older than you, and it perfectly aligns where
Right.
she can take it to school.
I just didn't know if that was the thing that a lot of kids thought. I'm in high school now. I'm not
There
gonna
was
take
like a
bus.
brief- there was
I'm
like
gonna
a-
get a ride with a friend.
Yeah, there was like a brief couple month period where one of Kat's friends drove us because Kat didn't have her license yet.
Okay,
But then Kat got her license. She took me every day.
right.
And then I got my license and I drove myself.
Okay.
So I think that's probably what they mean is like eventually, hopefully you get your license, you could drive yourself. But
Right.
I mean, it doesn't work out like
Okay.
that. Not everyone has that type of situation.
But getting back to that,
Everyone find you a cat. Catherine Braley.
yes, not a kitty cat. But
Yeah, no.
cat. Yeah.
Find yourself a dog. We're
But,
dog people here.
Oh, we took Charlie to Petco yesterday. Here I am, going off on another thought.
I know. It's the end of the show. We're just doing what we want now.
So Charlie,
Nobody's here anymore.
Charlie needed a new bed because he ate his last one.
He did.
He didn't eat the whole thing. I mean,
He ate a hole in it.
yeah,
He was
and he
starting
started to get to the stuffing. So, but he was acting like he missed his bed. You know, especially
we would play and he typically, like, when you try and get a toy from him, he like doesn't let you get it, and then he runs and he pounces in his bed to like hide, even though you can see him clear as day.
right.
So we would be playing and he would just go to hop in something that wasn't there.
Right.
So
We decided that he needed the bed. So we went to Petco because he needed the bed and he needed some new toys, because he's really in the chewing stage right now.
oh yeah, it's bad.
So this was the first time that I had ever gone into Petco with my pet.
Oh yeah,
And Mom said it's okay. They allow it.
they do. Yeah.
And nobody stopped us. But it was so weird to be walking around a store with Charlie,
yeah.
you know?
I mean, it's good that you're doing it now, though, like with him as a puppy, because now he should be. I think that was the problem with all our previous dogs. We never really did that. So it's not like we could just suddenly do it, because I don't think they would behave well in stores.
Right.
But I mean, you're starting Charlie young.
He's
He's a youngin'.
He did start barking when he saw people because they're strangers, and he barks at strangers.
He loves barking. He loves his voice.
Yeah. So he started barking, and of course I started panicking. Not panicking, but I was like, Charlie, be quiet.
A little
be quiet.
embarrassed. Yeah. It's a little embarrassing.
But Mom was like, it's okay. He's a dog. He barks. They're used to it.
Trish loves that line. He's a dog. He barks. It's like, yeah, but he's been barking for 4 hours.
Oh, that's what he does.
It's driving me insane.
All right, well, that'll just about do it for today. Do you have comments, chats to catch up on? Because I know sometimes I get rambling. So
Yeah, Abby said, I mean, if parents are letting a parent transport kids to school, it shouldn't be on them. If he isn't a school employee, then forget about it. See, that's what I'm saying. Give the guy a Corey check just to make sure he's not, a predator of some kind. And have parents sign a waiver.
yeah, then you're all set.
I think. I mean, again, I'm not.
I
I
still
know
have
nothing about law.
That's
That's
a
a lie. I took 2 business law classes.
Oh, so you know something.
Yeah, so watch
Yeah.
out. Nobody try to, I don't know, sue me for copyright.
I still can't understand why people don't want to work. Or I know I shouldn't say it that way
Yeah.
because Some people don't want to work because they do have a concern about COVID. And I respect that. I respect that. But there just seems to be so many openings lately.
Yeah, true. I
I don't know what's going on.
Many positions, this doesn't apply to everything. Many positions are vastly underpaid.
Yeah, that's true.
So, yes.
And I know I have read since the pandemic, a lot of people are rethinking their career choices. You know, they're like, all right, well,
Might be in like a transition phase.
yeah, I don't really want to go back to that. You know, if they've been working at home, they're now, come back to the office. I don't really want to go back to that.
Yeah.
So
It's an interesting time to see all this play out. But many wages do not support a life,
Yep.
to live. So I think we got to do something about that. Anyways,
that it?
yeah. Diane said school buses don't have seatbelts. Yeah, well, I think we just got to test the safety of the limo, I feel like a limo would be safer, but I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Yeah. I just think, as you were saying, being in a tin can, I think a limo's built more,
I could be wrong. Like maybe school buses, I'm sure that they've thought of this. I'm just saying, from when you're in a school bus, it feels like you're in a tin can. It feels like if you get hit by a decent sized truck, gone. Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for
Ending
today.
on a positive note.
Take that and run with it. Yeah. We hope you started your day off on a good note. That's always our goal here. If you enjoy what we do, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe so that you don't miss any future shows. We are live at 8 a.m. on YouTube. You can also check it out later in the day. And if you listen to us, we are on all of your podcast apps, so you should be able to find us that way. We leave you with a thought for the day today, and our thought is, if you look at what you have in life, you'll always have more. If you look at what you don't have in your life, you'll never have enough. The words of Oprah Winfrey. All right, go out and make it a great day.
Peace.